So we're continuing in Yechezkel, Perek Vav. What we've learned in this Perek so far is that Yechezkel was instructed to cut off his hair from his head, his beard, his body, and divide it into three. These three divisions symbolize the tzaddikim, the rishayim, and the people who were close to Hashem, but not necessarily on the level of the tzaddikim. The hair of the beard was the symbol of the tzaddikim, because a man would grow a beard for kavod and to look distinguished and chashuv. Okay, the head, the body here symbolizes those who are attached to Hashem, because that hair is very closely attached to the body. And finally, you have the head of the hair being like the rishayim, who are so insensitive and so distant that you have that hair of the head is cut on a regular basis. So each one of these groups will meet their own specific fate. So we spoke about the fates as being in three basic groupings, and we're going to continue from this. There were those who died from illness, from hunger during the siege, those who were killed in war, and those who were thrown to the four winds. And even of that last group, the group who are all over the place, oftentimes the nations with whom they live will rise and kill them by the sword in any case. And there was also like a fourth group. So take some hair, tie it to the corners of your clothes, and then burn it. What was this? There were some who survived in Eretz Yisrael. These are the ones who the Babylonians let stay in Eretz Yisrael to mine the land so it wouldn't become unfertile. And even then, after Gedaliah's execution, they were all killed, driven out. Okay, so we have the specific kinds of people, the specific punishments. So we're going to go back to Pasuk Zayin and continue in this theme. Nafal chalal b'tochachem, and the dead one will fall in your midst. V'yadatem ki ani Hashem, and you'll know that I'm Hashem. So what does that mean? The more you focus on the punishments, he said, the Navi is telling us, Yechezkel is telling us, the more you'll see that the abnormality of this level of destruction means that it's from Hashem. And as we'll see in the end of the Perek, which we're discussing now, the more they see divinity in the punishment, the more it touches the nekuda pnimit within them that makes tshuva possible. The more they'll be able to see, and within all of this, there's purposefulness. And Hashem's presence is there, but it's only concealed. The more they'll see this, the stronger their emunah will be, and the more this terrible punishment would have taught them something. And I'll leave alone those in you who will be those who escape from the sword by Goyim in the nations, and you'll be thrown to the winds of the nations. But those who escape will remember me, Bagoyim in the nations. Asher nishbusham, where you're captured. Asher nishbarti et libam, where I broke your heart. Hazoneh, your heart that strayed. Asher sarmei elai, that turned aside from me. V'teinehem hazonot, and your eyes that turned aside. Acharei gilulehem, after the idols. V'naktu b'fneihem et haraot asher asu l'chol tovotechem. And was thrown in your face, gathered and thrown in your face, all of the evils that were done to you because of all of your abominations. So we see the beginning of his describing how this could affect us. So those who are left in Golus, they're going to see it, they're going to feel it. Now it says, I broke your hearts, I broke your eyes. What does this mean? Let's talk about the heart and the eyes. The Gemara tells us that there are two agents of sin, the heart and the eyes. As it says in the Shema, which we say every day, don't go after your heart, don't go after your eyes. What's this talking about? So it says, Ayin ro'eh v'lev chomed. The eye sees, the heart wants. And then the person, of course they do it. Okay, so what's the nature of the eye? The eye is the means through which outer reality comes into our imagery, in our inner imagery, because we interpret things as soon as we see them. So that means we never just see anything. We interpret as soon as we see. So when we follow our eyes, it says about Shimshon, he followed his eyes. That meant in the end, when he was attracted to Delilah, which he might not have even known, because in all of his other relationships that he had with the other women, I'm referring to the Samson-Delilah story, where in order to fight the Plishtim, Shimshon infiltrated and waged a private war against them, which the people around him thought had to do with his own family affairs and love affairs. But for him it was all purposeful. Until his eyes led his heart astray, until he himself didn't realize, initially, that he wasn't above being driven into oblivion by his own imagery, by his eyes. So how does it work?